What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is Marketing with Dev. Make sure you guys give me a like, comment, subscribe, or hit those bell notifications so you can be notified when I drop new videos just like this one. And in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to run Facebook ads for a clothing brand. And a lot of these strategies will vary depending on what type of clothing brand you are, whether it's streetwear or whether you're geared toward a certain theme. So just stay tuned and let's get into it and you'll see exactly what I mean. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, of course, be in your Facebook Ads Manager, and we want to select this green create button so we can create our campaign. Choose a campaign objective. For this, we're going to choose a sales objective and manual sales campaign. If you have an ad, email, website, landing page, flyer, or brochure, I'll show you how to turn it into a money-making machine in 72 hours or less, guaranteed. I'll look at your current work, show you all the mistakes that you're making that are probably costing you thousands of dollars every single day, and I'll tell you how to fix it. If you're not generating sales on autopilot, it's probably because you're making mistakes that you don't even know you're making. And if you don't know you're making them, it's impossible to fix them. So I'll show you how to fix them and get results just like this. Since I want to help as many of you as possible, I reduced my consulting fee by 80% only for the first 10 people to schedule their magnetic marketing inspection with me. So if you want to generate more leads and more sales for your business on a daily basis, then make sure you click the link in the description and be one of the first 10 to book your session. Now, the first thing we want to do is always name the campaign, right? So let's do that. So as you can see, I named it L1 Clothing and Sales. So L1 just signifies that this is a prospecting campaign or a campaign that is being shown to people who have never heard of us before, people who are not familiar with us. In the middle, there's clothing. This is just a fictitious clothing brand. So if you were the real clothing brand, then you would be more specific. Is this ad for your hoodie? Is this ad for your new t-shirt? Whatever the case may be, that's what you would put in the middle. And sales, just because the objective of the campaign is sales. So we always want to include the objective at the end. And that's the only thing we're going to have to do on this campaign level. So what you can do now is go to the bottom right and select next. Now we are in the ad set level. And again, once we get here, we want to name it. But we always name our ad set the name of the audience that we're targeting. And since we don't have that yet, let's just hang tight. And when we get it, we will come back up and name it. So let's go down to conversion location. It's going to be website for you guys. Performance goals, we want to maximize the number of conversions. Make sure you have your pixel. Make sure you have your conversion event, whichever that may be. This is a demo account for me, so I don't have everything set up in it. Going down to budget and schedule. So I recommend that you do 3 ad sets at about $20 a day. So that's going to make it $60 a day total. I found through a lot of testing, spending a lot of time and money on testing, that about $20 a day for 35 days is a significant amount, or a good enough amount to be able to get a good idea of what's working and what's not working. You can do more, you can do less, that's completely up to you. But my recommendation would be to start 3 ad sets each at $20 per day. Start date and end date. If you feel like you might overspend, you can set an end date, which means your ad will stop running at that certain date and time. I'm always in the ads manager, so I don't need it. But now going down to audience controls. You want to make sure that your location is your country. I'm in the United States. You can even include more countries if you ship internationally, but the shipping costs can be expensive, so you may or may not want to do that. That's completely up to you. But I'm in the United States, so I'm going to have United States. Going down to Advantage Plus Audience. Now we are going to press this little blue button, switch to original audience options. And then we're going to use original audience. Now we are selecting the actual audience that our ads are going to be shown to, right? So this is very important. Age, I would leave alone for now. Genders, unless you're selling something specifically for men or specifically for women, then you would include whether that is, if you're selling like a dress, then obviously that's for women. If you're selling a man's t-shirt, then you would just put men. If you're only looking for men, select men. If you're only looking for women, select women. If not, then you can just leave that blank. Going down to advantage detail targeting plus. So to find the best audiences with people who are actually interested in what we have to offer, we use our 3-layer targeting system. And the first layer is something that is directly related to your product or your service. The second layer is something that is closely related to your product or your service. And the third layer is something that your ideal customers are also interested in. Now, this doesn't have to be related to your clothing brand at all. This can be anything. It could be a restaurant, place they like to vacation, shows they like to watch, sports they like to watch. This can be anything, because you have to understand that people who wear clothes, which is everybody, they're also interested in other things that are not clothes. So with good targeting, we can find those people in those other places. So our first layer, right, is something that is directly related to our product or our service. In this case, we have a clothing brand. Now, let's just say for the sake of example that this is a streetwear clothing brand, right? We sell streetwear, hoodies, t-shirts, jeans, all that type of good stuff, right? So what is something that is directly related to a streetwear brand? So let's type, and we see we have street fashion, right? So streetwear, street fashion, apparel, same thing. So let's select that. And now we can go up to the top and we can put in street fashion. So now everybody who sees this ad has to be interested in street fashion, or they won't see this ad at all. That's how we can get some pretty good targeting. Now, that's all we're going to have to do for this ad set. So what we're going to do now is go to the bottom right and select next. Now, again, first thing we want to do is name this ad. So let's just call it video 1, or if you're using an image, you can do image 1. But it's very important that for all 3 of your ads and all 3 of them, that you're keeping the same exact video or image. And the reason for this is because in this particular strategy, we're going to be testing the audiences. And since we're testing the audiences, that means we have to make sure that everything else is constant. So if we were testing the 3 different audiences and 3 different ads, we would not know if the changes in results is due to the audience or if it's due to the ads. So when we test one variable at a time, it lets us know for sure what is actually causing those differences in results. So it's very important that you guys understand that. Going down to identity, make sure you put in your Facebook page, make sure you put in your Instagram account if you want your ads to run on both Facebook and Instagram. Going down, creative source, manual upload, format, single image or video. Going down to add creative. This is where you add your image, add your video. Primary text, this is where you add your ad copy. Headline, this is where you obviously add your headline. So I have videos on this channel going over how to create high converting ad copy, how to create a high converting Facebook ad video, and also how to write strong, compelling headlines, right? So I'm not gonna waste time going over all of these again. You guys can check those videos out on my channel if you're interested in watching them. But I will say for the headline, just make sure that your biggest benefit is in that headline. Going down to destination. Now this is where you're going to put the website URL. Now you wanna put the URL for the actual item that you're selling. You don't want to put the URL for the homepage. And the reason for this is because you're assuming that when somebody clicks the URL for the homepage, that they're going to look around and find the item that you hope they buy. That is a big assumption and most people won't do that. So just put the direct link to what you're trying to sell directly in front of them. So when they click the link, they're looking right at it. And that's all we're going to have to do for this ad level. And since we're going to be duplicating this, we only have to do this one time. So remember, everything in the ad level is going to be the exact same because we're testing the audiences. And when we duplicate it, like I'm about to show you, everything will be, of course, duplicated. So you only have to do this once. Now let's go over to street fashion, that first ad set that we did. And let's press those 3 dots, bring up the action menu, and we are going to select quick duplicate. Now, as you can see, that not only did the ad set duplicate, but it also created another ad as well, which is good, just like I mentioned a few seconds ago. Now, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to change the name of the ad set. And now let's actually find the audience that we're going to be targeting. So let's remove street fashion because we already used that for the first one. Now, the first layer of our 3-layer targeting strategy was something that is directly related to your product or your services. Now, the second layer is something that is closely related to your product or your service, right? So if you're a streetwear brand, something directly related was obviously street fashion. Something closely related could be something like maybe a hoodie, right? It could be hoodie, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be hoodie, but that's just the example that I'm using for this video. It could be anything that's closely related to your brand, right? And I'm just using a streetwear brand as an example, but if you have a different theme clothing brand, you can do the exact same thing. You'll just have to tailor it for your theme. So let's go back to the top and we're going to put in hoodie. So now everybody who sees this ad must be interested in hoodies. And now we're going to do the same exact thing again. Go over to hoodie, hit those 3 dots, bring up the action menu, and we're going to quick duplicate again. And we're going to go down. Well, actually first, let's remove this title. And now we are going to go down and remove hoodie. And now let's go to our 3rd layer. So our 3rd layer is something that our ideal customers are also interested in. And remember I said in the beginning, this can be anything. It doesn't have to be related to clothing at all. It could be places they like to eat, vacation, shop, anything, right? It could be their favorite athlete, it can be sports they like to watch, whatever. So let's try something like fast food. So somebody who's interested in streetwear, they might like to eat at McDonald's, they might like to go to Popeyes, they might like Burger King, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, all of that stuff, right? So this may be a good place to find that type of person. So let's test it out. So we can go back to the top and we can name this fast food. And that is all you will need to do for this initial test, right? So you have your 3 ad sets going to 3 different audiences. After about 3 to 5 days, you should have sufficient enough data to actually analyze that data and decide if you're going to proceed with some ads or if you're going to turn some ads off and try something else. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll press this publish button. Facebook will review your ads. When they say that it's good, then you'll be good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys give me a like, comment, subscribe, and hit those bell notifications so you can be notified when I drop new videos just like this one. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.